Got a little dark humidity spike, so fire's not carrying as good, so we're ripping some head fires. Not too far ahead. Still want to get a good little burn, but I don't want to get too out of control. Get that little wind devil up there. Just a little bit further. Got a pretty good burn yesterday evening. It started out really good. You can see how it carried perfect. But then once we got down there, it got a little dark, humidity spiked, and then it took a while to burn the rest. I had to go through and put a lot more fuel down. Started getting patchy that just did not want to carry. But that's a pretty good burn. I gotta come back through here and I'm gonna thin a couple trees out. Some of these maple I'm gonna cut down. There's a little one up here and that one, and do a little work, try to get some more sunlight in here. Clean up a little bit of this brush. Make a brush pile somewhere in here for the critters. But overall, pretty good. Successful burn. What do you think, Keela? Keela, come here. It's your black feet. Just starting to burn. About 31% humidity. Little wind out of the west southwest. Dropping off. Right now it's dropping down. Little gusts here and there, but when it's not blowing, it's nice and calm, and humidity is going to spike throughout the night and should get a really nice burn here. Did you hear that gobble? He's like, oh yeah, he's doing a fire. He's fired up.
I was not expecting to do that.
Speed her up a little.
I know, good Frank.
Last year I opened this spot up heavily in March, and then April I did a burn right over here, beginning of April, but knocked out a bunch of trees, got some sunlight in here, and I didn't have a blower, which I have now, but I went through and raked all the leaves out of this spot, and then everything greened up, and then I went back through and selected some trees and girdled, but there was already a canopy cover from there that leafed out. So this year I should get a ton more sunlight in here with all those trees I killed, and then plus this new fire, I should get a ton of growth. But even though I didn't burn this and all I did was rake it last year, and I knocked down some trees and got a little bit of sunlight in, I had phenomenal growth in here. It was night and day from over here. It was dark where I didn't do any work, and where I opened some stuff up, it was light as can be. I had a little spring over here, so I dug a little water hole, Got frogs living in there right now. The deer hit that like crazy, the turkeys, everything. And I had some growth that was over top of the deer's back in some spots. But I also had some stuff like multiple rows and some grasses I didn't want. So run this fire through here, take care of a lot of that, and then I'll come back through and spot treat with the sprayer and do a little bit more thinning of the trees in here and clean up a little bit of brush, which I've already been doing this year. And on the other side of the right-of-way, I like to make both sides of the right-of-way look like this. Nice open little barrier in between, just try to give them all kinds of different cover and structure to get in and around and feed. But it's coming, just takes time, and liking how everything's going. Over on our little piece in Ohio, found some old sheds. Two was off, two dead bucks. I was in a thicket 5 yards from each other dead. But in here last year, I come through and took out a ton of the understory and midstory, and then killed and girdled a bunch of these big maple in here. And the deer liked it in here. There's a bunch of beds, but now after everything had died, I went through and made some brush piles and blew some leaf litter out of the way, because I'm not running a fire through this spot. But I wanted to get sunlight down because plenty's going to be getting through here, because turkey season coming up and turkeys love this kind of disturbance. And right around the bend's Dad's food plot he's got over there, and I did a lot of work over there. Took the leaf blower, blew all that out, and cleared a trail up the ridge there. It's a good hard day, but it's gonna pay off come turkey season, I think. Get in here up against these brush piles, call some turkeys down over the ridge or out around through here. It'll be fun. It is burn day. I was up here I did this big fire break a few weeks ago. Finally got good conditions and a little bit of help, so I'm gonna light this thing up this evening at 5. This is about almost a 2-acre burn, but after going around looking at it, and there's a lot of fuel in here, and I dropped some pines last year, and those are really big fuel sources in this burn, so I didn't end up just cutting it in half. I think we'll have about at least 3, maybe 5 people here, so it'll be a little bit easier to manage. But got all the gear, water, Gatorade, all the gas, diesel, saws, blower, rakes. I did have it all the way up there and down around, so I cut it in half here. So we'll come down through here, and once we get this blocked up here, you can stand up here and just see the entire area we're burning. Just right down here to that flat, and then straight up here. Whereas if we was doing this whole thing up here, it's a little harder to see the entire thing, and I just feel more comfortable just doing this a little bit. And as I was doing that, I want to do some growing season fires. So burn this here, and then I might come back and hit this in a few months, and then we'll be able to see the comparisons side by side. But it should be fun. I did some work in here last year, knocking some trees down. Did some girdling this month, well, last month. So run this fire through here and should respond pretty good. Here's the lower end. We starting right up there. Break that comes down around here, and right over to this out this flat. We burn all this.
Just let them do their thing. I have a ball back. Yeah, I got it. Is that everybody?
Hot burn today. Going good. I was gonna try to get this down and then work back. I got a couple springs coming out of the ground right here on this flat, below where I burned and below where a future burn's gonna be. So I was in here yesterday and I moved some dirt around and the water's settled and it's clear. I got a little spot coming out right there. It was coming out really good yesterday, but it had rained the day before. Still barely trickling out of there, but it's trickling a little bit better out of this one. And then there's another one over there and another one up there. So I'm gonna try to like tie them all together and build this up. Dig it out and build it up.